One of the things that helps reduce emotional tension in the home is when a parent is more at peace. I find that children often ride the emotional waves of parents. That's not to say that all children's anger is the parent's fault. We know that children have their own issues, and sometimes children are just angry, and we need to help them deal with their anger. But if we can, as parents, maintain a calm in the midst of their anger, then we can transfer the responsibility to them. In other words, we can keep the problem the child's problem. What often happens, however, is that children, when they're angry, try to bait their parents into drama. They'll start arguing or they'll start making accusations at their parents. And when they do that, then parents sometimes take the bait. So here's what I like to describe it this way. Don't get into the boxing ring. Children want to bait us into the boxing ring with their kind of antics. And they'll say things like, I hate you, or they'll say, Dad wouldn't do it that way. And so parents somehow take this personally, and it's not hard to take things personally when children are saying these kinds of mean things. But when children say those kinds of things and we take them personally, then we tend to become more upset and we enter into this boxing ring with the child. We don't want to do that. Let's leave the problem the child's problem. Sometimes it means that we're calling the child out of the boxing ring. In other words, we're saying, I can't talk to you right now about that because you're upset. When you settle down, I'll discuss this with you some more. But sometimes parents feel like they must respond each time a child makes an argument or an accusation, that we've got to justify ourselves. Don't take it personally. Here's what I think happens. Children send out these invitations to their anger party. Will you join me in my anger party? And sometimes parents RSVP, I'll be right there. And I just think that the reality is children don't like to be angry alone. And so when they're angry, they try to bait their parents into some drama. And we need to be strong and steadfast and not get sucked in. And we need to say, I'm not going to talk to you right now because you're upset. When you end up talking to children, when they're upset and they're yelling at you and you continue to solve problems, in some ways we validate their angry responses. I think we need to just realize the child's off track. Say, I can't talk to you right now when you're this way. You settle down and then we'll talk about it and we'll solve this problem, or I'll answer your questions if you have some, but we're not going to have this drama that's going on right now. So that's often helpful as we're moving forward. It's interesting that in Galatians chapter 6, verse 1, it says, brothers and sisters, if someone is caught in a sin, you who live by the Spirit should restore that person gently, but watch yourselves or you also may be tempted. I think that's the kind of thing that we're learning here. And we're referencing that kind of an idea as we come into the conflict that exists. So ask yourself this question. When you're when you get sucked into the drama with your child and you find yourself yelling back and forth, what went wrong? How did that child draw you in? What did they do to bait you? And what are you going to do next time that prevents you from taking the bait and getting sucked into that drama? See, I think it's too easy for us to take things personally as parents. And we start even evaluating our parenting and say, oh, I must not be a good parent if this child's doing these things. And we need to recognize that this child has a problem. And I want to deal with that problem, but I'm not going to deal with it while this child's upset and trying to attack me with their anger. Because when that happens, then we got just two angry people fighting with each other. It's not very productive, and it doesn't produce the lasting benefit that our children need. So let's be careful about how we quickly get sucked into the drama. And don't take the bait. Rather, be careful because you might be tempted at the same time. Whenever we're dealing with some kind of correction, we can be tempted to get in there and do something wrong. So correction done right doesn't have all these flare-ups and drama that often takes place.